I've probably lost count on the amount of times where I'd be lying down in bed trying to sleep, but then because my mind is just running continuously, I just end up giving up on sleeping and end up staying the whole night or maybe getting 2 hours of sleep. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one out there because, life today is just crazy. And when it comes to overthinking, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could be a bad thing if you let it spiral out of control. Now, for me, I've been dealing with it since high school, probably when I was about in year 12. And it was mostly because I was dealing with, anxiety when it came down to the final exams because of how stressful things were. And in my mind, I was convinced that I had to do everything, that I could and do whatever it takes to make my parents proud. And along the way, I stopped thinking about what makes me happy. And without even knowing, I was stressing myself out more than I need to be. And I was panicking because I kept thinking, oh, what if I fail? What if I do this? What if I don't get a good grade? Then I won't get into university. And then what will my parents think? And, I just pushed through it at the time. I didn't really think of it much. I didn't mention to my parents either because, hey, as their only son, why would I go and, tell them that, hey, I don't want to do the subjects that you want me to. But, little did I know that it was a whole different story because at the end of the day, all they wanted was for me to be happy. And I learned that later on. And I'm sure some of you may, relate to that. But anyways, for me, it probably started from that period of time and it just got worse over time. Especially a few years ago, I was dead broke. I probably had $50 in my savings. I was relying on government pay, which was about $620, I think, every 2 weeks. So imagine $620 every 2 weeks. Had to pay my bills, could pay something like my car registration while helping out my mom with bills and making sure that everything's paid on time. At the end of the day, I barely had money to spend on myself and just basic stuff like protein powder or food from the supermarket for myself. So I had to just, rely on mom's cooking and everything. And, I had no job, no income, and I tried to apply with so many companies. I had some interviews, and most of them didn't even get back to me. And for the whole year in 2023, I was just thinking, how could their only son be a failure? I'm in my 20s, I don't have a full-time job. What am I doing in my life? And then I start regretting life decisions, or maybe I start questioning myself. Why didn't I do better in IT? Why didn't I do better in that subject? Maybe I should have listened to my parents. How can I make them better? And, my passion is content creation, but obviously it takes a long time for it to potentially generate wealth, or I should say income, not wealth. And, I had to push that aside because of the situation that I was in. And I would probably be in bed most nights just trying to think of different ways to get back on my feet, get income, and just be able to help my mom out more. And that led to me, not sleeping for so many days. And, I tried studying, but I just could not focus because it wasn't something that I wanted to do. But I tried my best to push through it because, again, I wanted to just make my parents proud. But aside from that, when it comes to overthinking, the best way to go about it, at least in my experience, is at first just remember to breathe. Try and relax and take it one step at a time. Don't take it 2 steps or 3 steps or just try and jump over more than one issue. Because like Ron Swanson said, Never half-ass two things, always whole-ass one thing. So it's better to just focus on one thing at a time. And remember, if you make even just 1% progress, it's better than no progress. And then at the end of the day, you should, or maybe not should, but you should try and have a more positive outlook. Instead of thinking, why am I overthinking, or why am I dealing with these problems? For example, it could be the most basic things. You got a roof over your head, you got a family, friends, food on the table. You know, that's more than what a lot of people can have. So for me, to help counter the overthinking, or at least not let it turn negative, I try my best to just have a positive outlook. You know, a glass half full type of mentality. And, you know, at the end of the day, we all have responsibilities. We all have a purpose in life. And just because something may not be working for you now, or, you know, maybe things haven't been looking good for you, or for a while even, the worst thing you can do is not try. So you have to keep pushing forward. And when you keep pushing forward, you will see results. Even if it takes a whole year, maybe 2 years, you will get results. Trust me. There were so many times where I'd be just sitting down or laying down thinking, is it worth it? You know, do I even continue trying to be a streamer or a content creator? But I never gave up. Never give up. So I guess what I'm trying to say, that, you know, we all go through something, and that may lead us to start overthinking and questioning decisions, questioning ourselves. Just remember, we're all in this together. Now hopefully I've made some sense with this rambling, and if you made it this far into this video, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that maybe you've gotten something out of it. And if there's a topic that you may want me to cover, feel free to add in the comments. Now until the next video, take care, stay safe, and keep grinding. I'll see you guys soon.